Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Facebook Live. It's Monday. Wow, where has that week gone? Well, I know, it's been crazy here. We had a grandson's engagement party at the weekend, which was absolutely wonderful. Very relaxed. Just really nice. Weather could have been a little bit warmer. Mind you, yesterday it warmed up. Why didn't it do it Saturday? But anyway, that's life. So that's how it is. So my name is Anita Mazzero, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria. And if you're watching, please say hi, just so I know you're out there and I'm not talking to myself. But also I like to know where people are from, and so don't be shy. So if you see the red live button up the top here, you know that I am live on Facebook. If you don't see it, that means you're watching the replay. Now, because Facebook only keep the replay for 30 days, I do put a copy on my YouTube channel as well, so that you can watch it there at any time. Whether it's 3 months down the track, you can watch it. So that's the advantage of that. So, let me know if you're out there, because it's good to know myself. And look, a bit of hair sticking up. Now, exciting news. Paper Pumpkin is arriving in Australia. Subscriptions begin on Wednesday, April 1st. Now, Paper Pumpkin is very, very new to Australia. It's been in America for a long time, for many, many years. I've been involved with Stamping Up either as a customer or as a demonstrator for 15 or odd years, if not a bit longer. So I've always heard about it. So what it is it's a subscription-based kit. And the kit will vary from month to month. The kit for this month, and I was trying to find, I had it last week. It's somewhere in my pile because I had to move things to make room for people while we had everybody here at the weekend. So we know that this first one matches products in our new upcoming catalogue. And talking of catalogues, before I go any further, our catalogues are changing. So instead of an annual catalogue arriving in May, we are getting 3 catalogues per year. Core products will remain in the catalogue, hence being the paper, the inks, etc. They remain. But there'll be different products every time they bring out a catalogue. Some will remain and carry over each time. So 3 catalogues instead of 1 big catalogue, and then a couple of minis, which gets confusing. And even as a demonstrator, it gets very confusing. So the whole idea is that we're going to get this 1 catalogue 3 times a year. And I think it's great that we've got that. So back to Paper Pumpkin. So it's a unique way of receiving a kit. We have kits on our line, but they're very, very different to the kits before. Hello, Lucia. How are you? They're very different than the kits that are on our online store. So they will be sent out to you after the 11th of each month. You can pay as you go, which means you pay every month, or you can buy a subscription of 3, 6, or 12 months. And your subscription amount will come off and you will earn rewards. So it's handy to know that you can have rewards in your sitting in your cart after you've paid for your subscription. Hello, Cherry. Welcome. Oh, it looks like something is going on with Facebook. I can see you on my phone, and I know that Jacinta had trouble last night where they were not showing on her page. So while I can see you, I will comment. So if something happens down the track when I flip the phone down and we still don't get to see them, I might just flick out of my page and flick back in and see if they pop up, because without comments, I can't read them. There we go. I've got them for now. Fingers crossed, because I know Jacinta had a lot of trouble last night. So anyway, where was I? We were talking about the paper pumpkin. So it is unique. In each kit, you will receive a photopolymer stamp set exclusive to that paper pumpkin kit, a stamping spot, step-by-step instructions, same as you get in your other kits. You also get everything pre-cut for your projects, and it's ready to stamp, and off you go. So it is different. Once 1st of April starts now, Lucia, Cherry, you can jump in. Lucia, you would know more than me. Jump in if you know. But I think once it starts in Australia, we will understand it a little bit more. In America, they know it's been running for, as I said, for years and years. So they know all about it and they know how it works. I believe that you will be able to pick up refills. So if you like a particular kit, you can buy refills. There's alternates. You can make alternates. You don't have to actually make the same as the instructions. So, yeah, stamping rewards on every kit. So for us in Australia, you have from the 1st of April till the 10th of April to subscribe for the first month, if you only want to do month by month. Then from the 11th of April till the 10th of May, you can subscribe for the next one. And it works that way. Hello, Jacinta. And I'm having the same problem as you did yesterday with your comments. I think Facebook are being silly today. I've just got no idea why it's doing it. So it's just ridiculous. So I might just try going out and just do one more way back in. But, I don't know. It's ridiculous. You think once we've gone through the first month, we'll have more info and know how I agree with you, Lucia. As I said, the whole thing is so very new to us and it is going to take time. So let's move on. So what I'll do is I'm going to flip the camera down, and please bear with me if I do not respond to comments. I will keep moving but I'll try and pop up and have a look, and hopefully I don't miss out on comments. So fingers crossed. Okay, we'll flip the camera down and we'll get this organised. And now it does not want to go in. There we go. Right. Now we've had our product of the month for a few months now, and it's something I think that it's really enjoyable to have. So this is the one for April. March is still available, but April is actually a die. A beautiful eyelet bloom die cut. So I don't know if you can see that there. I'll get it in focus. There we go. You can see it's a beautiful plate. Yeah, I know, Jacinta, it was very frustrating for you, and I think it's going to be the same here. I think Facebook are just doing some weird things, and we will have to log a call to Catherine, I think, work out why she's very switched on to that sort of stuff. So I'm actually quite excited about this plate because it would be a great background layer that we can use for our cards. So we've had 2 sets of papers, 2 sets of dies, 2 sets of stamps, and now we've got a die. So how nice is that? And considering that you purchase your $125 worth of products and you're only paying $9, how good is that? So don't forget the product of the month. So today, once again, I'm using this DSP, and this happened by accident today. It was not the way I was starting to go. I didn't get a chance with everyone here over the weekend to even prepare. So I had to stop and think. And I was playing around and I had some die cuts left over, some old fussy cut pieces, and the card for today evolved. So this is our Delicate Whispers suite. The paper is currently unavailable in Australia. So it's available on the 13th of April. But let's face it, it is beautiful paper. Beautiful florals. Then you've got the Mossy Meadow background. A beautiful page with these lovely flowers. These will die cut these flowers. I fussy cut everything else out. Not the real tiny flowers though. And then it's got this checkered background, linen look check. And you would have spotted that this has got, I might pay for put a bit more light on, I'm sorry. It's got a foil. And on one, as I said, once it's plain, one side's got the foil. This one's got a little bit of foil in it. And then it's got the linen look on this side. This has got the foil. This beautiful new colour that's coming out in May, hydrangea hue. And I think this will be a very popular colour. This has got the foils and it's got the grey granite on the background. So that's the paper we're using. So we've got the stamps and dies, but I didn't use the dies except for the little flower, but I fussy cut them anyway. And then I've got our natural matte dots, nice and flat, that we can use for a card. So that's what we're going to be using here today. But I'm going to do something. Yeah, I know you love the sweet Lucia. I just stand up every night so often so I see what everyone's saying. So bear with me. Now there's one tool that some of us have got, and I've got that there. This is our scoring tool. And I know I don't use the scoring tool anywhere near that I should. I mainly use it when I'm using large pieces of paper, such as 12 by 12, as it's easier to do the scoring on the scoreboard. But today, I'm not playing around. I've come up with an idea. And I'm going to just reach over. So I'm going to take a layer of white that I'm going to use for my card, for my front. And I'm going to take a die. And I come across this briefly early this morning, and it immediately jumped at me, and I thought I can use that idea. So I've just put this in place. And I can feel the various cuts. I've got a circle, and I'm going to place this circle fairly close to the edge. And the reason I'm doing it to the edge, you'll see a bit later. So I'm going to get my stylus that's in here, and I'm going to use my it's got two ends, two ball ends, And I'm going to use the finer one. I'm just going to hold that really still and just feel for the very first. The first one's the hardest. Doesn't matter where I feel it, there it is. Once I feel the first one, I'm just putting a line in between, in there. So now I'll just move across. Once I've found one, hold my die in place. Let's find, whoops, there it is. You're playing a bit of blind man's bluff. Just using feel. So I'm going to put all these score marks. Now you could do this with the trimmer, but trying to score it with a die underneath would not work. Just getting that through. This beautiful textured effect on the die. And you could do any design that, whoops, that was not meant to move, so I'll pop that back in place. Because I found that once I got the feeling of the where the gaps are, you sort of roughly feel that 0.5 gap. Just get that in place. Hang on for dear life. We don't want to lose it, because that's my stopper. And go through there, and I've got one more to go. So as you can see, I have gone in the middle of the die. Hello, Kayla, welcome. Leanne is doing this technique. Doing the technique you would. Okay. So there we go. So there we go, one got the circle. So what an effect that gives on a card. Kayla, I can't see comments today. I have to get up and check. So if I miss anything, I will go back and check everybody's comments afterwards, because it's very frustrating why Facebook have decided to take comments away. If I go in and out of it all the time, they pop back up. But let's face it, that's a lot of hard work. So I'm going to take this and place this down. So I'm going to get my stamps, and we've got these two beautiful patterned stamps with the leaves. I'll get them off. Now I'll just reach over. Oh, sorry about that. I'm just going to plonk that on there, because I've done this design and I want the circle to go around. Inks. Where were they? So for this, I'm going to use some Early Espresso. Okay, so I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Create a look around the circle. And there we go. Get a nice look. Give that a clean. Grab the other one. Now this die you'll see is a bit more rugged, so you're going to wonder how it's going to go, but we will fill it. We will fill it. So pop this on. And ink it up. I'm just going to pop that around the circle impression. There we go. Now I'm going to do some colouring. I want to add a little bit of colour. Get it going. So how's everyone enjoying the nicer weather today? I mean, didn't it get cold on the weekend? Okay, just going to use some dark granny apple green and the fine tip. And I'm just going to put in a bit of colour over the leaves. I'll just do a couple at a time, and then I'm going to come back with light Mossy Meadow and just add a little bit to the base, just to give it a bit of depth. And it's a lot easier if you just do a couple at a time rather than just the one. I hope you don't have trouble tonight, Lucia. It'll be interesting to see if you have difficulty with the comments. But I do know John helps you out by keeping an eye on them. But, yeah, it's really frustrating. They are not liking us on here, I don't think. Just getting the colour in here. This is probably going to be the longest part of today because it takes time. So if anyone has joined since I've started, Facebook is not letting me see comments unless I jump in and out. I do try and pop up and have a look. So if I miss your comment, please bear with me. I have to go out of it and then back in, and the comments drop in. So they've obviously changed some setting somewhere, and yeah, just don't know what it's doing with it. So please bear with me and hang around, because I would like to chat with you and interact, but if it's not going to show up, but I will go back afterwards and read all your comments and whatever you put down, because you've taken the time to come and watch, so it's the least I can do. Just getting this I'm just putting this bit of colour in these leaves. It'll take a little bit of time, but it's done. What I have done is I've used our scoreboard to create a focal point on the card front. And it's just getting some lines onto your cardstock using the die. So I've used the circle die to create my focal point. I reckon you could try some of those beautiful different shapes. And I think the more intricate the shape is, I think the more fun you could have with it. If you were steady enough, you could do like a crosshatch with it. So don't think the scoreboard is only there for like in my case, which I always was using it for, was for 3D projects and boxes, or if I was getting ready for swaps where I was doing multiples at a time, and it was quicker to just zip a line down and be done with it. Yeah, it's making me relook at mine and seeing where I'm at. So we're just getting there. We're nearly finished the first part. So we're just popping that in. Getting some colour. I only want to do the leaves. I am actually leaving the rest of it in the Early Espresso to give it that effect. I reckon there was a fire not far away from us yesterday, and from the minute we heard the sirens, the house smelt of smoke, and I reckon I can still smell it. I haven't heard. I just hope that no one was injured and that the fires could save as much as they can, because, gee, they do a great job. So I've just given it its colour, a little bit of depth. Okay, there we go. So there's my base of my card of just having that, just leaving the flowers as they are. Let's have a look. Hello, Sharon. Oh, you're having downloads. Okay, Sharon. Oh, you got it, did you? I was about to say, I can let you know. Lucia, Jacinta and I had trouble last week that we couldn't download videos, but once we found it, we did it. You don't use your scoreboard much, Michelle, and welcome. Spotted you were there. Okay. Yes, no, it's, I think, I'm convinced Facebook's doing something. So I've got a couple of the brown flowers, and I've got a couple of these leaves that I fussy cut. Or that might be quicker than just trying to fuss it through it. So I get these little fine feathery leaves, got some green leaves, and then I've got some little brown flowers. So I want to use those. And this is how my original card started, was because I had the scraps. And how often do we do things so we don't use the scraps? So what I'll do first is I'll get my bone folder, and I want to give my leaves a bit of depth. When you do this, just do it carefully, because you'll rip. Believe me, it'll rip. Just give it a curl. Then I'm going to get my dimensionals, and I'm going to pop a dimensional on the back in the middle. Sharon, I know you're on. Look, this is not a no-go for me. This is how I prefer it. So, take our backs off. How is everybody else when it comes to dimensionals? Do you just pluck them from anywhere, or do you like to have them in an orderly fashion? Because I like a bit of an orderly fashion. Just pop my two flowers in there, giving the looks. So I've got all these, and I'm just wondering, do I want to use these in here? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I'm going to add that little bit extra in there. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. So, grab some glue. You're going to Google it later. And what are you laughing at, Sharon? Yes, I agree, Lucia. Orderly fashion. It's got to be that way. I mean, that's driving me insane. We'll just pop a bit of glue on the end. And you know what I didn't do? And before I stick it too hard, I'm going to make a curl the opposite way to the leaves. There we go. Just create that up, and got glue on that, so I'll have to do the same process with that. Just because you've glued it doesn't mean you can change how you're going to put it. There we go. It's got a bit of a lift, giving it a bit more dimension. Nice. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of the green leaves. So I want a little bit of green, just popping like so. So that's easy fixed. This paper, I know Lucia likes it as much as I do, but this paper is just delightful. And when I found out today that it was unavailable in Australia, I thought, I'm not surprised. I think from the minute it hit the market, it would have been so popular, because I'll be ordering another pack for my ladies for a class, because it is so nice. Right, so I've got those in, and I've got a couple of the browns, and I might put some flowers. I'll just pop dot of glue there, and I'm going to take my stylus from my Scoreboard, and I'm just going to put some pressure right in the centre and grab a pair of tweezers and then lift that in place so that it'll sit up and give a bit of a look. Yes, no, I think finding out why we can't see comments is really difficult to do. There we go, I'll just sit that there. Thank you, Michelle. And yeah, it is a lovely sweet. It certainly is. So I don't want to really do anything more. I think just doing that, if I bring that up, hopefully you can see how I've got all the lines that I've used the circle die, and then I've created this border coming around, and it's just to create that image. And this would make a beautiful Mother's Day card. If I thought of it early enough, I could have hunted through and found a Mother's Day sentiment, but I haven't. So we're going to go with what I've got from the suite. So I might put these for now in there, and I think just the 2 flowers were enough. In there, do I? Yeah, 2 flowers. 2. Less is more. Isn't that right, ladies? Less is more. Okay. So what I've done, cut my cardstock 21 centimetres by 14.9 and scored it at 10.5. So we'll now fold that in half and I am sure that my bone folder loves to go for a walk, especially when I'm live. Then I've got a layer of crumb cake, 10 centimetres by 14.4. And then I've just gone 0.3 smaller. So it's 9.7 by 14.3. We're just going to pop that on there. So I'm going to grab some glue. I'm going to glue this layer down. Pop that on there. Just give it a bit of, oops. A little bit of, we only want glue on my fingers. I only want the tiniest of borders. And there we go. I think I'll put that on dimensionals. I wasn't going to, but I think I will. Now, Sharon, I'm not as heavy with dimensionals as you, but I do like to use dimensionals because I do not like a saggy card. But that's about my limit. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, go watch Sharon. Was it Friday night? No. No, it was Friday night. And watch her video and have a look at the dimensionals she uses. There we go. Now, because I've got so many here on the back, I'm going to put some glue to allow for wiggle room. And I always think that popping a little bit of glue on the back might seem like, oh, well, you just put them on there. Why are you putting some more glue on? But a wiggle room when it comes to a card that's like this is vitally important. So, ladies, I'm sorry if I've been going off camera because you can't tell me. Across, whoops, that moved. Thank goodness I could move it. There we go, that's better. There we go. There's our layer. Glue off my fingers. Oh, very clumsy with the glue today. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work on our insert before I put the sentiment on the front. Then the stamping's out of the way. So for this one, I'm going to take the wheat looking stamp. Just drop that on there. So this is quite a pretty little one. So I'm going to do this on my sample. I did it in Crumb Cake, but I'm going to do this in Espresso because I did the other in Espresso. Ink it up well. Get my mat. Since we've changed to all polymer stamps, I feel awkward if I haven't got a mat. I've just got so used to it. So I'm going to pop that just down in there. And then without re-inking, I'm just going to go down a little bit lower. So in that sense, I've got my crumb cake sitting in there underneath. And there's good thing. So that's my inside. I can sit up there. Move that before I do something stupid. Thursday night. Okay. That's why we have so many supplies, because everything on our desk goes walkabout. You are right, Lucia. That is so true. No idea why they like leg. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm going right off the camera. I am so sorry, girls. Okay. Pop that in. Look at that. How pretty is that? I might as well glue that straight in, and that's got rid of that. And as I said, this morning I had nothing prepared. Not a thing. So to do this, I am surprised that I've got something together, because I tell you, my head was just overtired. It was a late night coming home from the engagement party, and, you know, I'm a bit of an early bird, maybe because I'm getting old. And so, yeah, I just found it hard, and because we had family here, and by the time they left, I was exhausted, absolutely exhausted. I love having them, believe me, I love having them. Right, now I've got a piece of, no, I'm not going to use crumb cake, and I know I pulled a piece out. There's another walkie. I'll just go over and get it. I want a piece of Early Espresso. There you are. I found it. Okay. So I've got my Early Espresso. Sorry if I'm moving things. I didn't mean to do that to you. I'm going to get my white embossing powder. I've got my Versamark here. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Knowing me, I'll do something stupid. Now, what am I going to put on? I think that'll fit on there. Might use Thank You Kindly. That's all I think is a really nice stamp set or stamp. Okay. I must say to Lucia, look, I've got a new baby, but I don't want to let Annie down. She's still very handy for something. There we go. So grab my Versamark and stamp this on the espresso, and we're going to do it in white. Move. Give that a dose. Pop that back together and grab my gun. So excuse any noise. Hi there, Kay. I caught your comment. I can't see comments until I get up and have a look, so please excuse me and anybody else that I may have missed a comment. Facebook are just doing something funny today. So I'm just going to get that ready. There we go. All done. How quick's that? It's the beauty of embossing. It just really makes the card. And I did it off screen again. Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. It was not meant to do. So I'm quite happy where it landed in the things. It snips. And I think we'll just tailor it like so. Pop that And I'm going to take my card. I'm going to pop that there, just like so. But I do want to add a little bit of the ribbon. So I'm going to get some tearing tape. I'm just going to grab a little piece to help hold the ribbon in place. Grab that. Just going to take the ribbon and just loop it. Not a lot, just a bit. I don't want it to overbear the project. That will do nicely. Okay. Take that, and I'll get a couple of dimensionals. Pop them on either side. That should hold on. Take that off. And just sit that like so on the card. And of course, I don't need to look at what you guys are saying. If I say to you, what does it need? Because it certainly needs one thing, and that is a little bit of wing. I am so looking forward to these shimmer pencils when they come out, or pens, because I'm going to love them. I know I am. There we go. That's the front of the card. And there's the inside. Let's put a little bit of splatter on the inside. Why not? Just a little bit there. And now I forgot the one thing that I was going to do. Let's grab my envelope. Thought I grabbed one out, but I mustn't have. Oh, there it is. Grab my envelope. And I'm going to use the same wheaty leaf that I used before. And I'll move those out of the way. Do exactly the same as I did on the inside. Just going to pop it there and then come down low just to create, and that'll give it that softer look. And I think what I'll also do is grab a blend. Just on the front. I just want it very soft. That's it. Move that out of the way. So there you can see that it's just got the splatters, very fine splatters on the card. Yes, Kay. Oh, no. Thank you, Lucia. So there's the card. Very soft, and I'm really happy with that. And this was the version I did earlier with, I've used the Crumb Cake there and Crumb Cake there and just a little less. Oh, as soon as I saw this, what did I forget? what did I forget? Cannot go without some embellishments, can we, girls? So I'm going to use the green. I like the Mossy Meadow ones. Pop one up here, and then a couple of the small ones. Put one there, and one down there. That's it. As I said, as soon as I saw this card, I knew that it was. So there's the two cards that I've done today. So this was my first one. This was the second one. A little bit different, but I think they're both as nice as each other, and just the highlight of what you can do. I've added this little leaf in here, which I didn't have here. I have gone for the Early Espresso here, which I didn't do here. So, and then of course the Early Espresso on the envelope instead of Crumb Cake. So thank you for the comments that I can see on the phone. I appreciate that. I'm happy with the card. I really like it because it was something different. But again, it's about using your scoreboard, because you could do this on, if you were going square and you wanted to work out your lines on your trimmer, but if you line crookedly, it's going to show up, whereas the scoreboard is going to help prevent any crooked lines from happening. Oh, teeth back in. Now, new catalogue, as I said, is coming out in May. I will be sending an email to everybody about the In Colour Club, which is 5 months of receiving a new In Colour every month. And I will be talking about paper shares. I think I'll probably shift my paper shares, which used to only happen at the annual catalogue, to each of the 3 catalogues now. But I have to work out price, and once I get the physical in my hand, it will be a lot easier for me to work out and do from there. So I'm going to say thank you for putting up with me without comments and everything else. And hopefully by next week I've got an answer of why. So if not, we will just work the same way as we did this week. And I want to say thank you, everyone, for putting up with me in working out how these comments just are not showing up. But fingers crossed, we will be able to get something very soon. So I will see you all next Monday, and which is Easter Monday. So I'm pretty sure I'll be here. Anything could happen, but at this stage I am still going to be live next Monday. So I will see you all then. Bye for now.